role-play experience because you can't objectify me how you previously did to Morgan, or that I'm somehow less qualified to speak on something, but you
And if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. Problem solved.
If you don't like it, don't watch it. Peace.
And people are like, would you please get your politics out of my comic books? I'm like, what comic books are you reading?
I want to talk to you specifically today about gatekeeping. There's a term that we haven't heard for a little bit. I brought this up 3, maybe 4 years ago, and I said straight up that people in the Red Pill community that see Red Pill for what it is, people that see MGTOW for what it is, for being a monk, for being what it is, should absolutely gatekeep the fuck out of what that is, because it's a purity test, so to speak. And I got some shit for that. I've brought it up a couple of times over the years, and as you know, I spread myself all over the place. I listen to all different points of view. I listen to things that are repulsive and repugnant. I listen to things that I agree with, some things that I feel have half-truths in them, some things that I am over the moon about, that the message is being promoted. But gatekeeping is a double-edged sword. Now, you might think you know where I'm going to go with this. I promise you, half of you are going to be wrong. I am 100% for gatekeeping. I am 100% for keeping everything the way that you want it. Purity. Not to put too fine a point on it. I just got done listening to Eric D. July, Young Ripper 59, and the man is intelligent. And he brought up the subject of gatekeeping and how he endorses gatekeeping. I endorse gatekeeping. Do you know why? Because as soon as you drop your guard, as soon as you turn your back to the thing that you've created, there will be some motherfucker, some battalion of SJWs or Marxists or usurpers that want to come in, self-insert, and make it all about themselves. And turn you, the originator, the person that turned that industry into something, into the enemy. We are currently seeing that right now in the Red Pill and with the manosphere in general. Do you ever wonder why they can't get MGTOW? Do you ever wonder why these things are escaping them? It's because MGTOW, men that follow the philosophy of men going their own way, are very good gatekeepers. You can be a passive gatekeeper. You can be an aggressive gatekeeper. What you cannot be anymore, simply because you've been red-pilled, is a goddamn fence sitter. That's what you can't be. Gentlemen, I'm going to insert some graphs here, and I want you to take a look at this. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, gentlemen. Hammerhand, the MGTOW monk, back at you. One mo again. Yo, man. Yo. Wanted to show you something today. So today we're going to this little place right here, Google Trends. And we're going to punch in a couple of terms, and I want to show you something that I think is very interesting. MGTOW. Right? Interesting stuff, right? Queries, hits, all of that good shit. Peaks. Now we're going to go to worldwide. We can go to the last 5 years. Right? All categories. So here we are. So you can say arguably this was peaking 2017, 2018, and that the terms have not organically gone down. They've been suppressed. See where they're at? Now, what do I want to compare this to? You tell me. Uh-oh. Fucked that one up. Now you can contrast and compare. The blue line, MGTOW, search results for MGTOW. The red line, manosphere. Worldwide, past 5 years. Right? Now that's pretty fucking dead. Look how flatlined that is in comparison to MGTOW. Let's do another one. Gamergate. How many of you have heard about Gamergate? Gamergate. Flatlined as a motherfucker. Arguably, its peak interest about 2018, but you can go all the way back to 17 and 14. Let's go all time. 2004 to present. Right? Now, why do you think Gamergate was up here at this point in time? Oh, man. I wonder why. October 2014. That's peak interest. Now, not necessarily volume. Right? And it exploded into existence right here. But then what happened? Oh, man, we're in the gutter. We're in the toilet. Let's fix this and go back to the past 5 years so we can get that graph up there. It's a pretty amazing comparison, isn't it? The largest search engine in the world ever created, and almost all ancillary search engines go through Google or use Google or Alphabet Tech. Pretty interesting shit, isn't it? What else can we do? Let's draw it out. Let's go men going their own way. Let's do that and see what that brings up. That's going to be green, so that's flatlined. So you can see that the acronym tracks massively. The acronym is what's doing the job for us, but it's also the philosophy. It's also what MGTOW entails, what it embodies. Yeah, I think so. Pretty amazing shit. Let's do another one. Let's do another one. Dating coaches, or as we refer to them, dating roaches. It's even worse. Lots of terms here, right? Well, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this one off of here. I'm going to get the dating roaches out of there. Let's do feminism. What's it in? Purple, right? In comparison to MGTOW, look at the astonishing amounts of information coming up on feminism. Feminism looks like it has more of a logical, organic track than any of the others here. That's because they don't want to suppress that. They don't want to oppress that. So we'll take feminism off of here. What else could we do? So just for shits and giggles, let's do Comicsgate. Let's see where that stacks up. And that's even worse. It's in purple. So it's dead. Right? As far as Comicsgate is concerned, it's dead. Gamergate, dead. Feminism explodes because there's an interest in both sides to figure out what feminism is really about. And I can promise you, the interest of what feminism is really about is greater on the female side of things because they're not taking people's word for it anymore. That's a good thing. That's a very good thing. Now, gents, I'd like to take you to another very interesting search result. MGTOW, feminism, manosphere, red pill. Uh-oh. You can see by your color graph at the top left of your screen, there was an enormous spike back about 2010 for red pill. Tapered off. feminism, of course, crosses right over it. And then MGTOW, feminism, and red pill coincide with one another, and they track almost identically. Pretty interesting stuff, isn't it? This is for YouTube from 2008 to this month. Not hard to tell, not hard at all, that there is a lot of suppression going on here. That there's a lot of people that don't understand what it is that they're looking at. A lot of people that are getting out of these scummy, manipulative, license-based relationships. Women are ruined. For that matter, men are ruined. The relationship doesn't have a place in society anymore. Marriage doesn't have a place in society anymore. That shit's over. It's done. It's done. Just figured you might want to take a peek at this one too. So you have the Google Trends, and now you have Google Trends for Facebook. Very interesting stuff. I won't suggest to you that these have not been manipulated. They probably have been. We all know about the adpocalypses. We all know about the algorithm manipulations. We all know that these people are trying to tailor-make purposes for you. And they sure as fuck ain't going to listen to a guy, at least not one that's not a feminist or identifies as a feminist. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff.
Gatekeeping was a topic of conversation. If you follow me over this previous weekend, and we had some back and forth, even with people that were you think are generally on my side for philosophically, excuse me. And there was some back and forth, and it all centered around a tweet that I'm going to explain here in a little bit in terms of what it is that I was talking about. This is the tweet here. It says, when our company launches, remember that my job is to create. I'm not here to hold your hand. And what I mean by that, and I've said this before, a lot of people got it twisted on the whole hand-holding thing, and they didn't really understand what I meant by that. What I mean by that is that don't look at me as this easily accessible creator because you see me on a show every day, or that I'm always getting out there and having talks with people because, yeah, the other things that I'm involved in. And definitely with me coming out of this space and having my own channel, that's a lot of folks expect that same sort of connectivity with the company, but that's not what it is. I don't want to ruin like Kafabi, or rather it's more of from a creative sense. I don't want to ruin that experience for anybody. So when I say I'm not holding your hand, what I mean by that is that I'm here to create, and that's it. That is you guys, for you guys to do, to theorize, talks among each other, be excited about what's to come, argue about what you think that's on y'all to do. It's not on me to do that. That's not what it is for me to do. I'm not holding y'all's hand in that regard. So yeah, just because you see me put out a book and you, oh wow, you have so much access to this creator because he has all of this space. Spaces is where he appears. Whatever, talk to him in whatever ways. And yeah, if it's basic stuff, maybe go hyping it up going into the future. But again, that's all about the creativity of the project. I'm not going to be giving you those details there because I want you to be excited and want you guys to that lore to be built as we build it, and you to be a part of that because that's part of the experience. Look at what the authoritarian left and the social justice advocates did to you. They infiltrated both sides, businesses and fandoms. And now they're actively destroying the things that you know and love. Actively. And for various reasons, listening to bad information, whatever it is, we can talk about that. But it happens on both sides. And they have made it to where we've seen people that have had to leave that space because the others have made it abundantly clear, even though they didn't start it, but because their cancer spread, they now have it. And then they say, you know what? Fuck you, get out. So you may look at it like, well, you're becoming what you hate. No. I've always credited leftists for doing what it is that they did. I've always done it. They were smart. It was effective. As much as I think they're assholes for it, I will never acknowledge I will never not acknowledge the fact that they played the long game, and to their credit, it worked. But that kumbaya, don't pay attention to it, is what got us in this fucking mess for many, many, many different brands. And if you don't have aspirations to preserving the sanctity of what it is that you have, that's your business. But with me, and I know it's important to what it is that we're trying to build, that's something that we will focus on. And it's not a burden at all to the audience. You know why? How I know? Because I've been a part of that fucking audience, and I've been a part of those fandoms. So yes, gatekeep the motherfuck out of people that are acting in bad faith and are bad actors.
Now, some of you may regard gatekeeping as some type of social injustice. It is not a social injustice. It is, in fact, you protecting your way of life, protecting your IPs, protecting who and what you are and want to be. It's you protecting your heritage and culture from usurpers, from invaders, from scum. I hope you enjoyed the commentary from Eric July, a.k.a. Young Ripper. The man he's got balls, he's got brains, he knows what he's doing. I am looking forward to the creation and the implementation of the Ripperverse. Being that everything that you liked that mainstream culture has overlooked has been absorbed and is now controlled by rabid leftists and Marxists, you have nowhere else to go now. Superman is a homosexual. Aquaman is a homo. Aqualad fucks dolphins. Wonder Woman is now a dyke. Batgirl's a lick. Robin's a twinkle toes. And all of a sudden, that 1 to 3% representation that they hold in reality is 90% of everything out here in the ether. My friends, it is best just to let this stuff go. You heard me? It's best just to let this stuff go. There is no IP, no property, no anything that is worth holding on to while you get your balls clipped and told to go stand in the corner. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Anywhere you find these social justice circles and you find some type of entertainment, anything, as a matter of fact, that has been usurped, that has Marxists and leftists in control of it, you're going to find a matriarchy. I do not support matriarchies. This particular matriarchy is led through subversion, coercion, threats, and the never-ceasing desire of them to be you. These people's desire is not justice. Their desire is to see you subjugated. And the funny thing about that is that you are helping them accomplish their goal. I know that Superman and Batman and Spider-Man were favorites of yours. Whether you're 20, 30, 50, 70, it doesn't make a difference. But at some point in time, you have to take stock of what's happening, what has been happening, and what won't cease until these IPs, these properties, go belly up. Start supporting your independent content creators. Start supporting people that tell stories, that make good music, that make good movies, even if they're made on a fucking Handycam or a Samsung Android. It does not make a difference. Start supporting the people that support you. The shadows of Marx, Engels, Alinsky, they loom large over culture today. And it's going to take a lot of dedication and work by all of us to exorcise these fucking demons.